What's up, guys? Welcome to the very poor camera quality, which is my interior car. We're about to go and see Venom, There Be Carnage, aren't we, Beefcake?
Yes.
Yes, we will let you know our initial reactions as soon as we are finished. So come on, twat, let's go. Welcome once again to my car. We have just seen Venom and Beefcake. What were your thoughts?
Well, it was good as expected.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really explain.
That was my impression as well. Very underwhelming, I think the word is. Carnage could have been done a lot. If that is the only Carnage we're going to see in a film, a little bit disappointed about that. Yeah.
What's up, guys? Tommy Bowie here from Movie Rewind, and today I will be reviewing Venom, Let There Be Carnage. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Venom, Let There Be Carnage was released in 2021. It was directed by Andy Serkis and it is a sequel to 2018's Venom. And it was probably one of the most anticipated films of the year for me because Carnage is one of my favourite Spider-Man villains. I have a figurine of Carnage right here, which is very good. So I was really looking forward to seeing a Carnage appear in this film on the big screen for the first time. And I was pretty disappointed. There will be spoilers in this review, so I would suggest going to see this film before you watch this video. There are a number of characters in this film. However, let's face it, only two needed development, and that was Venom and Carnage. And to be honest, I was disappointed with both of them. Eddie Brock and Venom work well together. I like that love-hate relationship the characters have, in which they don't really want to be with one another. However, they're kind of stuck with one another. There are some genuinely funny moments in this film, especially when Venom cooks Eddie Brock breakfast. I really enjoy that scene. I don't know why it makes me laugh so much. I like the chemistry that Eddie Brock shares with Anne. Those two should be together. And once again, at the end of this film, those two are not together, which does annoy me. That's two films now where they should be together and they're not. And now let's get on to the main man, Cletus Kasady and Carnage. Very disappointing. Cletus Kasady is supposed to be a psychopath, and while we're told he is a psychopath, there's not a lot done in this film to suggest that he is truly a psychopath, if that makes sense. He does kill people, however, most villains kill people. I don't understand what makes Cletus Kasady that much different. For most of this film, he's just trying to get with his girlfriend, Frances Barrister, which I'm not that interested in. Cletus Kasady should just be a pure psychopath, and that's not really done in this film. Plus, we see that Cletus Kasady and Carnage don't actually fit well with one another. They're constantly fighting against one another, which I don't think, that's not what Carnage is about. I've seen the animated Spider-Man TV show, and basically Carnage and Cletus Kasady work so well together that they refer to themselves as I instead of we. In this film, there is nothing to suggest that. If anything, they're not as glued together as Eddie Brock and Venom are. So I was very disappointed with what they did with Carnage in this film. I'm going to give character development a 5 out of 10 because honestly, I was pretty disappointed. We know very little about Cletus Kasady and Carnage in terms of how well they work together in this film. And in terms of Eddie Brock and Venom, nothing really changes at the end of this film that what was present at the end of the first film. So very disappointed. Tom Hardy once again carries this film in his performance as Eddie Brock and Venom. Honestly, I would have liked to have seen his performance with better writing, because he doesn't have a lot to work with in this film. He's quite funny actually in a number of scenes in this film, which is down to the charisma of the actor, I would say, more so than the script itself. Woody Harrelson as Cletus Kasady and Carnage, part of me really wants to say how great they were. However, they weren't. I think he was miscast. He just doesn't bring the insanity which I would say Cletus Kasady embodies. For most of the scenes, he's quite tamed, quite quiet. So I don't know if he was miscast. I personally would have liked to have seen a different actor in that role, or maybe it's just the way he was written, you don't know. However, I weren't a massive fan of Woody Harrelson's performance in this film. Naomie Harris, Michelle Williams, they do well with what they are given. The problem is they're not given that much to work with. That is the main problem with the performances in this film. It is the script which lets the majority of them down. So overall, I would give the performances a 6 out of 10 because while there's nothing wrong with them per se, it's the script which lets them down. However, I do believe that Woody Harrelson was miscast for the role of Cletus Kasady in Carnage. Nothing against him as an actor. He's a really good actor. He was just miscast. The effects are one thing I would struggle to fault because in terms of the character designs, both Venom and Carnage, they look great on screen. There's nothing wrong with the designs they do for these characters. Occasionally, only occasionally, does the Venom CGI look a little bad. When Venom's face comes out and is interacting with Eddie Brock physically, occasionally that does look a little fake. However, I would say for the majority of the time, I was quite impressed with the effects of this film. So I give the effects an 8 out of 10. Honestly, it's the only part of the film I enjoyed. I thought they got the character designs nailed. The film's story is the main problem I have because it is pretty shit. It feels rushed. And that's because Sony always go for a shorter running time so that the film can air more times of the day in cinemas so then they can get more money per showing. And that is the main problem. This film needed to be at least 2 hours long so that we got a chance to see the characters interact. Put it this way, Venom and Carnage battle once in this film. They battle once in the final battle. That is shit. Venom and Carnage are arch enemies. We should have seen them fought more than just once. Most of the film, Eddie Brock and Venom aren't even together. They separate. Venom goes to a nightclub for some reason, which is pretty funny. However, what does it add to the plot? Hardly anything. It just proves that Venom can't live without Eddie Brock. I don't really understand what was the point of that scene, to be honest. It just felt a bit stupid. We needed to see more of Carnage and Venom interact. That would have made this film so much better. And what does Carnage do? He just goes from scene to scene. Once he rescues his girlfriend, he then kills a bunch of people, and then they go to get married in a church. And they don't even manage that because Carnage turns against Cletus Kasady's girlfriend. Very stupid. This film feels completely rushed. You know, it is one fight scene at the end of the film and it's just trying to set up. It's very slow to get moving. It's not paced well. And for the majority of this film, I really don't understand what they were thinking. So I would give the story and writing a 3 out of 10 because I was very disappointed. It's too short. The main problem with this film is it needed to be at least 2 hours long so then we could have seen the characters interact just a tiny bit more. So for this film's special recognition, it has to be how much they let the character of Carnage down in this film. Because we don't see Carnage a lot in this film. He appears pretty unstoppable, however, easily beaten. Due to Sonic, Venom then eats him. And Cletus Kasady is killed as well. So we're not going to see Carnage again. Or at least not in this universe. How shit is that? Carnage was a massive letdown. He was one of my favourite Spider-Man villains and I expected so more from him. We got one fight between Venom and Carnage. And while it was an okay fight, for parts of it, we just kept going back to Eddie Brock and Cletus Kasady fighting one another instead of seeing Venom and Carnage, which I felt was a bit stupid. Very disappointed with Carnage. I'm going to give, for what they did with Carnage in this film, a 3 out of 10 because it was shit. Fans of Carnage deserved a lot better. And to be honest, the only decent thing in this film I could find, besides Tom Hardy's performance as Venom and Eddie Brock, was the post-credits scene. And that is all. So in conclusion, if Venom Let There Be Carnage can be summed up in one word, that word would be disappointment. While Tom Hardy is giving it his all and the effects are not that bad, the story is just falling apart on screen. The film is too short. It needed a longer runtime in order to actually give us a coherent story which made sense. In terms of what they do with Carnage in this film, very, very shit. Venom and Carnage only interact once when they fight each other at the end of the film, and in my opinion, Carnage is defeated too easily. Overall, I would give Venom Let There Be Carnage a well-deserved 25 out of 50, which gives it a grade 4 ranking. Honestly, my initial reaction, which you've seen in this video, was disbelief. I was hoping this film was going to be so much better than it was. Hopefully, we see Carnage again. Maybe in another universe, maybe in a solo film, whatever, just so we can see Carnage and show what a great villain he can be. Because this film, he weren't great in it. So thanks for watching, guys. I really do hope that you enjoyed my Venom Let There Be Carnage movie review. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe in order to receive great and maybe even improved quality content in the future. And I will see you in another one. See ya!